Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexandre, and I'm a success coach, healer, creative, and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine way is your goal, this show is for you. Understand how to overcome your past, bring your soul's greatest gifts to the world, and uplevel your income, impact, joy, and happiness. Join me each week to be inspired and uplifted as you learn the business, mindset, energetic, and spiritual shifts you can make to create your own wildly abundant life and business. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm Polly Alexandre, and today I'm going to be talking about how to write a new story around money. But before I dive in, I am super excited to announce that doors are now open to Money Beautifully, my powerful program to identify and clear your money blocks so that you can break through your income ceiling and make more money more easily. Go to moneybeautifully.com to find out more. I'll talk more about this later in the episode, but first up, today's topic: how to write a new story around money. What does this mean exactly? What it really means is that we're shifting an old reality. We're shifting an old way of being in the world, an old energetic paradigm, and we're entering into a new reality around money, one where money is there to support us, where it's always available to us. So, for most people, this means less fear and scarcity and more abundance, faith, and trust that money will always be there for them. So today, I will be sharing how to tell if you are unconsciously blocking more money coming into your life and business, and the 3 major money blocks for women entrepreneurs. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode. So imagine never worrying about money again. Imagine losing that fear of where the next client will come from. Imagine attracting amazing opportunities with ease and grace and breaking that habit of overworking to reach your goals. So I want you to imagine for a moment, allow yourself to dream. If you made 2 or 3 times as much money, what would you be doing? Maybe you would be retiring your husband. Maybe you would be spending more time with your kids. Perhaps you'd plan some incredible holidays. Maybe you'd go and move to a home in the sun and live a life in orchards of orange and lemon trees. Just like my client Riti, who's planning that right now. Maybe you'd go on a once-in-a-lifetime trip around the world. Maybe you would upgrade your home or even buy your dream home. Perhaps you clear your debt so that you can work less and you have this huge pressure lifted from your shoulders. Perhaps you'd make investments in property or education or training in a new field. Imagine the thrill of doing what you really, really secretly desire to do. Perhaps you'd invest in a coach and start your own business doing something you love. Perhaps you'd quit your full-time job. Imagine this lifestyle of freedom, of time freedom, of creative freedom, of family, of fun, of joy, of peace, of flow, of happiness. Imagine having a much greater impact on the world because you have the money to hire a team, marketing experts, coaches, mentors, so that you can scale your business and impact more people without burning out, without overwhelm. Imagine feeling safe, confident, clear on where you're headed, knowing deep down that you are more than enough and you are worthy and deserving of more. How good does that feel? So I went from earning just over $25,000 a year in a job to over $250,000 in my coaching and healing business, helping thousands of people and doing deeply fulfilling and rewarding work that changes lives. I've helped thousands of people heal their relationship with money and grow successful businesses. And I hold a degree in psychology. I spent 3 years training as a transformational coach, 2 years as a theta healer. And I also have a creative background in advertising, fashion, and photography. And what happened is that in the process of building 2 6 and multi-six figure businesses, I've learned how to identify and shift my own and my clients' money blocks on a very deep level and fast, so that we no longer live in fear of money and never enough, or living a life that's less than we're capable for and meant for. So let's start the conversation about money. How do you feel when I say the word money? If you're anything like most of the population, the word money is charged with emotion, perhaps fear, worry, resentment, blame, anger, guilt, frustration, shame. Perhaps you feel money controls you and limits you. For many years, I veered from loving money when I had it and struggling with money when I didn't. I felt like there was just never enough, no matter how hard I worked. I felt like everybody wanted a deal when I was a photographer, and I was scared to raise my rates. And no matter what I did, I always seemed to be in debt, no matter how much I got paid, and it went out as fast as it came in. Does any of this resonate with you? Maybe you find yourself blaming the economy, your parents, your kids, your employer, society, the governments, the banks. Maybe you're just feeling there aren't enough hours in the day. And you might even be feeling ashamed that you aren't doing better than you are. Now, I have good news for you. The truth is that it's an inside job. And the good news, and we all love good news, right? It's easier than you might think. As soon as you start to identify and clear those money blocks, you will start to experience changes. So it might start with finding pennies on the ground. I like to call them pennies from heaven, or offers of help and support. You might receive discounts, unexpected refunds, tax rebates, gifts, wins, and cash. Suddenly your sense about what's possible starts to open up for you. I get literally tens of emails every week from people thanking me for introducing them to this work and sharing how it's changing their lives. So right at the start of doing this work around 6 years ago, Tara wrote to me to say, I've just had my first 10K month after listening to your success meditation. And I know it was down to the work in this meditation. You can find that on my website, polyalexander.com, if you're curious. Katie, one of my early clients, said, I've been doing your meditations and I can't quite believe the transformation in my mindset. And it's reflecting on the outside too. So much so that my first mood board is almost being achieved. It really is appearing like magic, and I still feel mesmerized by it. Okay, let's shift from dreaming to doing. So let's get our feet on the earth. I firmly believe that we have one foot in heaven and one foot on the earth. My work is a blend of the practical and the spiritual. So we're now going to talk about how do you know if you have money blocks. I'm going to look at 7 ways to tell if you have money blocks. These are not the only ways, but they're a good place to start. So the first and most obvious place to look is at the flow of money coming into your life. Is it like a trickle, a drip, or is it more like a yo-yo pattern, up and down, up and down? And maybe you're even experiencing a drought right now. As crazy as it may sound to you, when you're fulfilling your true purpose in life and you have shifted your money blocks, then abundance of money will flow in easily and naturally, because this is how it's designed to happen. And your life will be one of more than enough money. So the second way to tell if you have money blocks is if you constantly fear money running out. So it doesn't matter how much you're making, you could be making millions. And I've had people in my programs, I've had everyone from a woman that's never worked in her life and earned her own money, right up to someone that's created 2 8-figure businesses, but was in this boom bust cycle of not being able to hold on to money. So I've worked with the whole spectrum. And It doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you fear money running out, you are blocked. You have money blocks if you fear money running out. So maybe that manifests in being scared to spend it, holding on to it, not allowing it to flow, not using your savings to invest in yourself, your lifestyle, or your business, or constantly worrying about where the next client will come from or expecting things to go wrong. The third way is if you're a chronic overspender or an emotional spender. That was me. Maybe you unconsciously spend to fill a gap, to feel better, or your finances are out of control and you actually have no idea what's coming in or out. And quite frankly, you would rather not know. Okay, so the fourth way is if you avoid or deny money, you'd rather not think about it. Perhaps you feel it's unspiritual to focus on money and you feel guilty for wanting to make more. Deep down, you believe that people who focus on money are selfish, greedy, or focused on the wrong thing. And these may not even be your beliefs. You may have picked them up from your family or the people around you. So the fifth way is if you feel like you don't deserve more money or you're not worthy of it, and perhaps deep down, there is this feeling of being flawed or wrong. Maybe you're just so used to eating scraps. You don't even know what it's like to have more than enough. Deep down, you don't feel worthy of more. You're simply not good enough, and you felt like this all your life. This is a huge one. The sixth way to tell if you have money blocks is if you actually really, honestly, truly have the resources you want to fulfill your dreams. Are you living in a way that lights you up and is a fit for you? Are you able to do whatever you choose, have the experiences you and your family truly desire? Does your work fulfill you and feel exciting and rewarding? Can you give yourself and your family the experiences you deeply desire? And so, if the answer is no, it's time to clear your blocks so you can make the money that's a match for your desires. I'll just say that one more time so that you can make the money that's a match for your desires. So the seventh and last way I want to share with you here is if you're scared to charge more for your services. Maybe you feel nervous asking for money or stating your rates, or you experience clients constantly asking for a discount, saying that you're too expensive or paying you late or not at all. Maybe you know deep down it's time to put your rates up, but you're just too scared to in case you don't get any clients. That's a sure sign that you have money blocks. So if you answered yes to any of the above, you are in the right place. Stay with me. So the truth is, the Creator or God or the universe wants you to have more than enough and wants you to have everything you desire. You have a unique purpose and role on this planet that only you can fulfill. And when you clear the blocks to fulfilling your purpose and making a difference in the world, things will get so much easier for you. So the truth is, I'm a lot like you. I always struggled with money. I just thought that's how it was. There wasn't enough. It was hard to make. You had to work hard. It was even harder to hold on to. And it was always running out. And I thought the only way to get more money, and this is what I was taught, was to work longer hours or get more experience. But, at the same time, probably like you, I had big dreams. Part of me just knew that somehow it was possible to have it easier and better than this. And I dreamed of making good money doing what I loved. I dreamed of living in a beautiful home in the sunshine and of doing meaningful and fulfilling work. I dreamed of great relationships, of beautiful dresses, of financial security, of feeling energized, vibrant, alive and successful, and of waking up each day and doing what I loved and using my gifts and talents to contribute to the world. So eventually, age 28, I made the leap from corporate and I left my job in advertising to start my own business. This is when my money blocks started rising to the surface. I was terrified of not being able to pay my mortgage without a regular salary. I worried constantly about getting clients. Was I good enough, experienced enough? Were there even enough clients out there? I was scared to charge my services at the start of my business, and I struggled to raise my rates and bring in enough money to leave my part-time job. And I thought, this is just how it is. I'm just not good enough and I'll always struggle with money. And then I discovered the idea of a money mindset. And a money mindset is all the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and ideas you hold about money. Now, only 5% of our belief system sits in the conscious mind. So that's what we're aware of. And 95% of it sits in the subconscious mind below the surface, like an iceberg. 5% is the tip we're aware of, but 95% of the iceberg sits below the surface of the water. So we're completely unaware of the vast majority of what's affecting our money situation. And on this journey, I discovered that my money mindset was not very healthy at all. In fact, it was filled with all sorts of negative ideas about money. It's a pain, it always runs out, it's wrong to want more, I shouldn't spend money on myself, it's hard to get. And I just assumed these were facts. But actually, they were beliefs that could be changed. And as soon as I started shifting these beliefs around money, things started to change. My turnover, my revenue in my business went up 150% in a year. I raised my rates and I was making more money, but I was still missing something. The problem with repeating affirmations endlessly in front of the mirror and reading book after book around money mindset, and one of my teachers at the time told me to do 3 hours of money book reading each day. Do you know how difficult that is to accommodate when you're running your own business? It was not terribly helpful advice. This method was long and time-consuming. I spent hours saying affirmations in front of the mirror and reading books. Progress was slow and it took a lot of time and effort. My subconscious mind was still filled with hundreds, even thousands of negative beliefs connected to money. I like to call these money blocks. You see, the subconscious mind is there to protect you and keep you safe. So it holds on to all sorts of patterns and beliefs to avoid danger and keep you safe and comfortable in what you know, which usually means avoiding change. Quite simply, it keeps you in fear, not faith. Progress wasn't fast enough, and it felt like wading through mud. I was moving forwards, but slowly. A couple of years later, I had a huge breakthrough when I discovered it was possible to shift negative beliefs instantly. I learned that these beliefs don't just come from your childhood, but they're also passed down in your genes, in your DNA, from your family and your ancestors. You also pick them up from society and the collective consciousness, and perhaps most surprisingly of all, from your past lives. So when I started working on identifying and clearing these subconscious money blocks, it was an absolute game changer for me. I learned the truth about money and I reprogrammed my subconscious mind. I did it with an energy clearing technique that clears blocks fast and easily. And I cleared literally hundreds of years of poverty consciousness from my family background that I had inherited in just a few weeks. I identified and cleared one negative money belief after another. And as my inner world changed, so did my outer. My income doubled every month for 3 months and rose 420% in a year. As my income grew rapidly, I was able to start investing in my business, hire an assistant, travel the world, invest in new trainings and mentors, hire a private yoga teacher, rent my dream home, uplevel my wardrobe, and invest in my health. And the best part? I wasn't working harder. In fact, I was working less than before. I was making more money, making more of a difference in the world, and I was happier, more relaxed, more confident, and more empowered. I was helping more people, and for the first time, I truly trusted in the universe to support my purpose. and in my own ability to attract and manifest whatever I desired. I had moved from fear to faith, and this is possible for you too. You know deep in your soul that there's more for you in this lifetime. You know that you're here to make a difference in this world. And when you're no longer stuck in fear around money, you'll be able to move into fulfilling your true purpose and doing what you came here to do on this planet. Your life will be easier, more relaxed. You'll trust that everything is always working out for you, and you'll know this on a deep, cellular level. You will magnetize clients, money, people, opportunities, good times towards you more easily. Your income will no longer be limited by your employer, your time, or your experience. You'll be able to live and work in the way that suits you most and make your own schedule. Just imagine that kind of time and financial freedom. My client, Rena, tripled her sales in 10 weeks of working with me, won an award and a $5,000 bonus in her company when she started clearing her money blocks. Valerie found the courage to sign up for a whole new direction and become a life coach when she moved from fear to faith around money. So it's not just me that this stuff works for, it works for everyone. When you clear your money blocks and create a new money story, you can move out of just surviving and into really thriving. So maybe you're thinking, well, Polly, this all sounds great, but isn't this going to take me ages and be really hard? Well, I have some good news. You don't have to fix all your money blocks to start seeing a difference. In fact, as soon as you start this work, you'll notice more abundance coming into you, perhaps in the form of gifts, discounts, refunds, free things, offers of help or new opportunities. I hear regularly from clients whose husbands and partners actually start experiencing more success in their business when they start working on their money story. So it has the ability to impact all those around you as well. And I know how to help you change your money story quickly and easily. So I'm going to share a couple of stories about clients so you can start to get an idea of how complex and how interesting our money stories are and the different pieces that I dismantle in order to help you write a new money story. So I'm going to start by telling you about my client Emma, who's a photographer in South Africa. So this, in her words, is where Emma was at before she started working on her money blocks. She said, I'm super busy, but actually I'm too busy being busy to achieve the level of success I want. I'm burnt out and fed up. The quality of my work is suffering, and I know something needs to change, but I'm just not sure what. I feel like I'm going nowhere, and I can't say no to work because I fear it could all go away at any time. So after identifying her money story, where it came from, and clearing some of her key money blocks, Emma transformed her money story from scarcity to trust. She changed her habit of panic thinking, of the fear of losing everything, raised her rates, and started booking new clients. She said, now I'm earning more money whilst doing less work, and I've realized there's nothing wrong with me. It's just the way I was raised that created my issues, and I have the power to change it. I've stopped my pattern of overworking and being busy, busy, busy. I've learned to value myself, and I know I'm worth my new rates. I'm so much more relaxed and trusting around the business, and I'm giving a better service to my clients now because I'm not so tired and overwhelmed. So that's really what this whole journey of changing your money story is all about. How to heal your relationship with money so that you can move past your blocks and do what you've really come to do here in the world and enjoy the journey. So before we get started with writing a new story around money, the first thing you need to do is to be compassionate with yourself and forgive yourself for being where you are right now. Forgive yourself for being where you are right now. Your current situation is a result of your belief system, 95% of which you're not aware of. So congratulate yourself for listening to this right now, having this awareness and being willing and ready to do something about it. Okay. So here's the 3 blocks we're going to talk about today. Number 1, I'm not enough. Number 2, there's not enough. And number 3, the fear of judgment and visibility. Block number 1. One of the biggest money blocks out there is low self-worth. Feeling that you're not worth more for what you offer or do is literally a roadblock to manifesting more money. Self-worth is an ongoing journey and something that grows over time. Basically, in order to grow your wealth and your ability to receive money, you have to first truly, deeply believe you are worth more. And the truth is, self-worth is rarely something that was modeled for us. Our parents could only teach us what they knew. And if you're reading or listening to this now, you were more likely brought up by a parent who lacked self-worth. And the reason I can say that is because typically our parents were not taught self-worth by their own parents either. And so it gets passed down generationally. So I'm going to share now how low self-worth can show up in your business or work life. The first way is undercharging, being scared to ask for money, a raise, negotiate, put your rates on your website or say your prices. If you're a new practitioner or new to business, maybe you're scared to charge for your services and you keep doing trades or bartering your work. The second way is by overworking or over-delivering. By consistently over-delivering, you're basically saying you're not worth your rates, and unconsciously you're compensating by giving more or over-delivering. And the third way is always offering discounts and deals to get the client or booking. Do any of these resonate with you? Yes, good. There's real power in awareness, and now you know what's going on, you can start to change it. So now I'm going to move on to money block number 2. I like to call this there's not enough. So there's not enough means there's not enough in the world to go round. This is all about your beliefs about money itself and the amount of money available in the world. This is really, really common. The topic of money is a subject loaded with emotion. The media, society, our parents, teachers, culture, all teaches us about scarcity, that there's not enough in the world to go round. And often we're brought up to believe that it's wrong to have plenty when others in the world are starving and have so little. Religion can also teach us that it's pious to give your money away. Be humble, not be greedy, be happy with what you have. And maybe we feel guilty about having more than enough or keeping money for ourselves. Through our upbringing, we learn that money's a struggle and we end up manifesting a life where there's never enough. We start actually believing that money's hard to come by because after all, it's what many of us saw our parents experiencing. Anything we see, hear or experience up to the age of around 6 is literally absorbed as a fact. So those early years set your experience of money for the rest of your life if it goes unexamined. If you saw your parents argue or fight about money, you learned it's bad and it causes pain. If you saw your father, for example, work long hours and miss playing with your daddy, you learned that you have to sacrifice happiness to make money or work really hard to make money. So people tend to fall into 2 camps when it comes to money, the fear or terror or the denial or avoidance camp. And I used to yo-yo from one camp to the other, and maybe you too fall into both camps. So how do you heal these extreme patterns and come into a more balanced relationship with money? Well, a good place to start is to understand the truth about money and change your beliefs about money being bad or wrong. Money is just energy, it's just a tool for bartering. It only has the meaning that we project onto it. I give you money and you give me your time, expertise, or product. So it's an energy exchange. Okay, so you're ready for money block number 3. This is the fear of judgment or being visible. This is a huge one in my community. Are you hiding from money without realizing it? You probably are, and here's why you do it. So starting and running your own business or putting yourself out into the world as an artist, creative, spiritual practitioner in your truth, it means you have to be seen, either through marketing online, on social media, through speaking, being on stage, through meetings in person, on video, hosting workshops. There is no avoiding being seen. And running your own business means having a voice, being willing to share it, and being willing to be seen in the world. But when your business is not visible enough, your ideal clients can't find you. The people that need what you have to offer don't know about you. They simply can't find you. And as money comes through other people, the money can't reach you either. So not only are you hiding from your ideal clients, as a result, you are hiding from money. Now, finding and sharing your voice can be a scary process, which is why this block is such an important one to clear and why it's so powerful to do it with support. I actually rewrote Money Beautifully to include this work after running it for the first couple of rounds because I realized how critical it is on writing a new money story. Now, speaking your truth can expose you. It makes you open to being judged by others. Maybe they won't like what you have to say. Maybe they'll disagree. Maybe they will leave critical comments. So this block is all about the fear of being humiliated, judged, and criticized when you speak your truth. It's about the fear of others being jealous when you're successful. It's about the fear of others rejecting you. And maybe you fear being different to your friends and family when you grow and expand and make more money. All of these fears can actually manifest in confusion. So not knowing what your message is, hiding on social media, not knowing what to say in your marketing, procrastination launching your business, marketing your business, or even overlooking opportunities. When you worry so much about what other people think, it makes it hard, sometimes impossible, to hear and share your voice. Clearing the fear of being visible, and it's an ongoing journey for me, was a huge turning point in my own business. I would love to talk more about this. There's so much I could share on this one, but I'm just going to keep going right now and share that this can come from childhood, but it can also come from your mother or father. So these might not even be your fears at all. Just as you inherit the same face, legs, eyes, or hair as one of your parents, so you can inherit their beliefs in your DNA. And my own mother was growing in her mother's womb during the Second World War. She was in her mother's belly in the air raid shelters when the bombs were dropping. So she literally absorbed all her mother's fears as a baby, even before she was born. The world was a dangerous place, and it was no wonder that my own mother inherited this belief. In her lifetime, she barely travelled, did not own a passport, and lived in a lot of fear. The power these deep, subconscious beliefs have on your own success and life is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Wow. So we've covered a lot of ground in today's podcast. Let's all take a deep breath. Now, you don't need to know all of it or change all of it to see a difference. It's possible to change your money story step by step by identifying and clearing these blocks. Now, a lot of people say to me, but will this work for me, Polly? Is it really possible to overcome these blocks that I've had for a lifetime? Well, yes, 100% it is. I've taken thousands of people through this process and I've seen them create results like having the courage to leave their job and start their own business, doubling, tripling their income, launching new programs, workshops, a huge increase in sales, feeling more confident, more empowered, ready to take action, booking amazing new clients. So if you think this needs to take years and years, it doesn't. So I worked with Jessica Nasralli, a business coach in Australia, and during her session with me, she brought in an extra $25,000 in the 72 hours following her session, and $4,000 of that was during the actual session. So as I was shifting her blocks, the money literally started flowing. Cara, a business coach in Canada, said, "My session with Polly was incredible, a complete healing of my broken heart, which was showing up in my business as an inability to receive more than just enough money. Within 30 days of our session, I effortlessly manifested $31,000 into my business. And I should add that it came to me in the most unexpected ways and without any marketing." Kathy Stans runs a boutique in the US, and she saw her sales rise 244% in the same month year on year during Money Beautifully when she worked on clearing her money blocks. I'm going to dive into a couple of examples now, a couple of case studies of my clients' transformation of their money story so you can understand more deeply how this takes place. So Kim is a wedding planner and mentor in the UK. And before working on her money blocks, Kim was scared to be visible. She doubted herself and her abilities and was not owning her worth, her talent, or her skills. She'd fallen into a pattern of discounting to get clients and had hit a dry patch with no new inquiries coming in for months. She started wondering, who am I to do this? She noticed she was wasting money on things, frittering it away and avoiding dealing with or thinking about money. So together we cleared beliefs about being able to charge for her services, around having to please clients, being responsible for their results and not feeling good enough for the high-end clients and big jobs she deeply desired and was qualified for. We cleared old beliefs and created new ones around being worthy, deserving and good enough for this new level of clients. We worked on shifting her feeling of being inferior to others, and we cleared her fear of judgment from her peers. In just 1 month, Kim raised her rates, booked 3 dream new clients, and felt so confident in her worth and pricing. She'd gone from hiding behind her computer to booking 2 high-profile speaking engagements. A year later, she launched her own training academy and was hosting workshops and training the new generation of wedding planners. Now let's take my client Maria. Maria is a sound healer in Germany, really good at what she does. Now Maria had finished her training and she just started taking clients, but she lacked confidence in herself and her abilities after a series of tough life events. After taking Money Beautifully, Maria gained the confidence to start sharing about her work and put on her first workshop. She started creating more powerful boundaries in her life and saying no to things and people that were not in alignment with her truth. 9 months on, Maria was hosting group meditations, workshops, and giving talks about sound healing and selling packages of her healing regularly and with ease. She's getting amazing feedback from her clients and is growing so much in earnings, self-belief, and confidence. She has plans to work online, travel, and no longer allows her fears to hold her back. The future is bright. So let's bring things up. I've so enjoyed sharing with you today, having this deeper dive into the subject of money and what it looks like to change your money story. But one of the biggest fears people have is that they might be different, that this might not work for them. Maybe they're just this really bad case. Maybe they're not meant to have more, or maybe they've reached the limit of what's possible. Well, that's simply not the truth. It's not God or the Creator's highest truth. We all have the possibility to live abundantly and fulfill all our desires when we clear our money blocks. And it's my work to help you do this. I help you clear the blocks to believing and knowing and feeling in every cell of your body that you are a co-creator with the universe and that there is more than enough available for you, that you are always safe. When you clear your blocks, you'll learn how to handle fear, make bold decisions and show up in the world in a bigger way. And when you do this, you open up the channels to receiving more money and more abundance. When you have a positive money mindset, then you feel more optimistic, more confident, more peaceful, and have much more faith and trust so that you can take more action, receive more money, and receive more abundance in all its forms: clients, cash, love, gifts, opportunities, and much, much more. So in order to create this new money mindset, you just need to start clearing your money blocks. So I love this month of sharing and creating all of this information about writing a new money story with you. I've loved doing this episode for you today and the ones in the past few weeks on the podcast. I've been getting really great feedback from you, and thank you for all the glowing reviews. Thank you to everyone that has shared kind words and rated this podcast. I would love you to share your own review if you're listening now. On iTunes, just go to the ratings and review tab. Now, if you're interested in taking this even further and taking the next step, I've put together an advanced training program. Money Beautifully is a tried and tested online program. Been running this for 3-4 years now, with live calls that works you through how to clear your top money blocks so that you too can move from fear to faith. When you clear your money blocks, you'll start feeling more confident to be seen in the world as a person you're here to be. And you will up level in every area of your life. Money Beautifully is a proven program with videos, workbooks, and live energy clearing calls with me each month to identify and shift those subconscious blocks fast. And there's a really supportive private community that will hold you accountable to completing the course, showing up, and doing the work. And I am in there all the time answering your questions and providing support. In fact, people love this community so much, they say it's one of the most powerful things about the course. All you need to do is follow the steps, listen to the calls, and you cannot not change. I'm currently enrolling for Money Beautifully for a very limited time, and then I'll be closing registration so we can start the program. So go to moneybeautifully.com for all the details. If this calls you, I cannot wait to support you on this life-changing journey. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Feminine Millionaire Show. I wish you the most abundant week, and I cannot wait to meet those of you who are going to join me on the Money Beautifully journey starting very soon. Have a beautiful week and see you again next week. Bye for now.